I have some good news and I have some bad news. I don't know what you want me to start with, so I'll just assume you want me to start with the good news. First piece of good news is I made this video on time. Unlike the last one where I had to do a lot of mental processing and I used that to delay the video creation, I'm actually making this one on time. Second piece of good news is I got another payout from Apex. For those of you keeping score at home, this was another max payout, which for me, I have 20 accounts and the max is 2K each, so that's 40K. This is my third max payout of the month of January. Obviously, great start to the year. And for the life of these individual accounts that I'm trading, it's the fourth max payout. So basically on the month, I made 120K. For the life of the accounts, I'm up 160K because I did have one in December. So thus far, from a monetary standpoint, from a financial standpoint, from just a pennies in your bank account standpoint, looking pretty good. Pretty happy about the $160,000 run I am currently on. And that leads me to the bad news. I don't think that I'll be able to sustain this particular run, but more on that in 1 second. To conclude the month of trading in January, I did another max payout request from Apex, and fortunately on the screen now, you could see it was approved. The PA payout was approved, and that was the 20 individual emails where I got 2K each, so 2K times 20, that's the $40,000. As I said, this was all done via Apex. If you don't know what Apex is, it's a sim-funded company. Basically, you take a test, and if you do well in the test with a paper trading account, as in simulated, as in not real money, they'll then give you a funded account, and if you do well on the funded account and keep trading up and up and up and follow all the rules, which you can find in the FAQ, then you could actually get payouts. So it's a little bit new. It's been around for a couple of years now, this industry, but in the past 1 to 2 to 3 years, it's really been taking off. Apex is definitely the leader in the particular world. And if you want to try it out yourself, right now to take the test, you can get an 80% off deal. It's going to be, I hope you're watching this in time, but if you use that code GOONIE, GOONIE, that's how you're going to get the deal. So once again, the code GOONIE, GOONIE, is going to give you that 80% off. Just so you know, there are many different account sizes. I choose to use the 50K one just because I think it has the best ratios. That's a personal opinion. Obviously, you should trade what you think is best, but using the 50K as the example, to pass the test, you basically have to hit $3,000 in realized profit without suffering a 2.5K unrealized drawdown. If you do that, you pass the test, you go from eval to PA, and once you're on PA, that's when you start trading for actual real money if you trade well. Also, at the bottom of this page, there's a lot of other great resources, and you can see other people's payouts just to keep people accountable, because I know when it comes to the world of interwebs, well, there's not many truthers, we'll call it that, but you could click on payouts here and you're going to realize that I'm all the way on page 7, and you're going to see Matthew, New Jersey, USA. There's all 20 of mine, and I don't know officially right now. We have to let a little bit more data settle, but I believe there is a shot that I'm in the top 5, top 3, maybe even the top 1 of Apex traders to kick off this new year. Obviously, I'm beyond excited about this current run of success. Here's where my accounts are at in real time. I have all 20 of them. They've traded for 41 days. Just so you know, I also do use a trade copier. I get that question a lot. Basically, I'm trading one account and then I propagate that exact same trade to the other 19. So I'm trading one and then the other 19 get copied, hence the name trade copier. Anyway, there is a little bit of a discrepancy because sometimes that little bit of movement, there is a difference. And when you trade for 41 days, that explains why some are up 38,000 and some are up 37,000, but overall very, very happy. I've taken out 160K in total, and if you do the math here, I'm up in the realm like in these accounts that I haven't taken out yet, somewhere between $750,000 and $800,000. Obvious, the next big milestone goal for me is $1 million buckaroos. The very quick math on that is that I need to make about $12,000 more on each count, maybe a little bit more than 12,000. And this is the part where we should probably revisit the whole bad news aspect of this particular video. I am not really sure that I could pull this off, and the reason is because in the last video my mind was spiraling. I was in the gutter. I was lucky to save the account. I was just trading very poorly. 2 videos ago I laid out all the rules. I said, hey, I'm doing A, B, C, D. These are my rules. I follow them. They're helping the account grow and grow and grow. And then all of a sudden I started taking those rules and saying, I don't really need that. I don't really need that. I don't really need that. It was just pure luck that those accounts survived. In in filming that video, I thought, okay, this is my big public statement that if I can just say this and recognize it, put it out in the world, it'll kind of put me back onto the path that I need to be to kind of like bottom out mentally and get that climb going again. I think that's a pretty fair tactic. I mean, there is a quote that identifying the problem is what, 80% of the problem. I thought that's what I was doing. I thought I was getting my mind back to where it needed to be to once again start, I guess, replicating the success that I had up until this point rather than just relying on lady luck. What if I told you that I was 100% completely and utterly wrong the day after I filmed that video saying, hey, I'm gonna have monk-like discipline, like this is it, I recognize what's wrong? What if I told you the very next trading day I broke that promise to myself, and as you can see on the screen right now, I was down $30,000 per account. For those of you who don't have a calculator handy, $600,000. I lost over $500,000. And as much as I joke about wanting to cry in the shower, I really wanted to. In fact, I wanted to vomit. If you were in my studio when this was happening, I was a rabid toddler. My brain actually broke. I felt like this was such a poor trading performance. Somehow the markets gave my brain a lobotomy. In the last video, when I was talking about being undisciplined and there was a lot of negative self-talk and basically I just felt stupid, well, this time around, I'm not even really sure there's a word in the English language to explain how dumb I felt. Like truly, I don't think a word explains it. In fact, I think you could take a person who's never traded in their life and they would still innately know to not do exactly what I was doing. But as it's been going for the past 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, the market god shine upon me because I degenerately threw all of my account down, basically rage quit and said, hey, we're either blowing them out or I'm gonna be making it back. And as you can see on the screen, I somehow magically made it back. I need you to understand when I say magically, I don't mean, oh wow, the market kind of just went in my favor and I made it back. I mean true magic, like Harry Potter type of stuff. After just getting chopped alive all day, bad trade, bad trade, bad trade, bad trade, I didn't have much more, so I maxed out the account, hit long, 10 contracts, which is the most you could trade on the 50K accounts, and basically said, I need to make 150 points. Right here is where you can see I got in just before 1 p.m. the day that this all happened. You can see I got out right around 325-ish, but not only did I get out there, which was a top tick at that moment in time, like literally it did not go a tick higher. Moments later, Trump started talking about the tariffs and it completely plummeted all the way back to my entry. Folks, this wasn't just luck. This was divine intervention. I should get this tattooed on my back. This chart right here, crazy entry, the best exit of my entire life, just enough to get back into green on the day. I went down 600,000, back up 610,000 to be slightly in profit. That's a $1.2 million swing. Folks, when I say I wanted to vomit, I don't mean that figuratively. I mean that very, very, very literally. If you're watching this, you've probably been around for quite a portion of the journey, and this is why I'm saying it's the bad news, because these negative swings, the overall swings, are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and statistics, more specifically variance, suggest that this is unsustainable. I can't keep having larger and larger swings. Eventually, if you have a large enough swing, you kind of hit that death point where the accounts are just gone. I'm not trading with unlimited money, and this last one was this close to being donezo for your boy. I'm basically sitting here recording this in disgust at myself. So now I'm in a situation where I don't necessarily trust myself because I haven't been able to deliver on my own promises to myself. So I'm in a very bad mental state, an extraordinarily bad mental state. And I think that has a lot to do with trading. I think right now, the fact that I'm recognizing how bad is it in myself, that's actually setting me up to be even worse now, because I'm going into this, like I said, with the most negative Nancy mindset you could possibly have. The only silver lining in this situation, well, I guess that's not really fair because I already did take out $160,000, which is quite the awesome silver lining, but money is one thing. I just get so absurdly frustrated at myself for not making good decisions. It's one thing to be fortunate to get lucky, and gamblers gamble, and sometimes you hit that lottery ticket, but it's a completely different thing in the trading world to be making good quality decisions, and that's the level that I hold myself accountable to. So I'm not here, I mean, clearly I'm not bragging about the money that I made, because I'm telling you that I think this is all going to be blowing up in my face, but I just get so frustrated because I hold myself to this higher, I guess, ideal of, you know what you should be doing, just do it. And if it's only your discipline that's stopping you from doing it, grow up. I guess the voices in my head when I'm going through all this right now, it's been the most negative it's been in quite a while. So it has me very, very apprehensive about what's coming down the pike. But as I said, I thought there was a different silver lining beyond just the money. The very next trading day, and I only have one extra trading day before filming this, so like after this whole debacle, I had a plan. I explained it all on stream, and I said I'm only trading with XYZ. And as you can see on the screen right here, I made about $23,000, about 1.1K per account. So multiply that out by 20. Not only am I very happy with this gain, but if you watch that actual trade, it was just very well executed. So not only was I fortunate to get this money, but talking about that decision-making process, I would give myself a B+, A-, and I was really liking it just because I was super aggressive with moving my stop loss up to break even. And then I tried to ride this as far as I could ride it, and it had obviously a very nice return. So at least on the very next day, after having a ton of issues, I didn't just go completely haywire. So this is the silver lining, and I'm just hoping that I could bring this forward into the upcoming week. But with the upcoming week, it's the first week of a whole new month, which means not only are we going to have all those major macroeconomic reports of the new jobs, we're going to have the unemployment report, we're going to have the initial jobless claims, but if you're watching this in real time, you know we just got into a trade war with Canada, Mexico, and China, so the volatility is going to be completely haywire. And then the recent history of me trading in super volatile events is absolutely horrible. I don't know even how to end this. I'll make an update video on the next cycle. Not optimistic at all. So that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. I appreciate the good vibes. Peace.